Part 1 started with quiet signals crossing the empty black between stars. The Galactic Concord had ruled known space for many thousands of years. Their ships moved slow and careful because most of their people feared fast movement and loud noise. The Concord included three main kinds. The Vexari were tall beings made of clear crystal that glowed soft when they spoke. The Lyrath looked like large, peaceful birds with feathers in calm colors of blue and green. The Kethrax stood on 6 strong legs, each covered in hard shell, and carried sharp tools in their many arms. All three kinds worked together to keep peace and share knowledge. They did not like war or hunting or anything that made hearts beat too hard. One normal day, a new signal appeared on their long-range scanners. It came from a direction nobody had explored much. The signal moved steady and straight, not hiding or jumping around. The Concord Council met inside their biggest station, which floated near a warm yellow star. Elder Thaler the Yar, our oldest Vexari, led the talk. His crystal body shone bright with important feelings. He said this new signal belongs to a young race. We must greet them with kindness and show them our ways. The others agreed because that was the rule for new people. They sent 3 ships to meet the strangers. One ship carried Vexari diplomats who liked to talk about rules. One carried Lyrath singers who made music to calm everyone. One carried Kithrax guards who stood ready just in case. The 3 ships formed a triangle, and flew toward the new signal. After many days, they found it. It was one single human ship called Endurance. The name sounded strange to alien mouths, but they learned it meant to keep going even when things get hard. The human ship looked small next to the Concord vessels. Its hull was smooth metal, painted gray with a few marks from old travel. No bright colors, no big weapons showing on the outside. The Concord hailed them with friendly waves on every channel. "Welcome, travelers," said the Vexari, some voice. "We come in peace from the Galactic Concord. Please let us board so we can share knowledge and food." The humans answered quick but polite. "Thank you for the welcome. We are happy to talk, but our rules say no boarding yet. We need time to check air and germs first." The aliens listened and felt confused. Germs were tiny things that lived on skin and in breath. Most Concord people cleaned them away with special lights and sprays. They thought humans must be very afraid of small, invisible dangers. Elder R again. "We thank you, but we will stay on our station instead. We have safe rooms and clean air." The humans stayed quiet for a long moment. Then they answered again. "We thank you, but we will stay on our ship for now. We can talk like this and share maps if you want." This answer made the aliens whisper among themselves. The Vexari said, "These humans act like scared prey hiding in their den." The Lyrath said, "Maybe they feel shame because their ship looks plain." The Kethrax, "I said if they were strong, they would show teeth or claws, not words." The council decided to learn more. They sent tiny scanner probes that floated close without touching. The probes took pictures and measured everything. The humans did not stop them. They just watched. The scans showed surprising things. Humans stood on 2 legs with soft skin and no shell. Their hands had 5 fingers, but the nails were short and blunt. Their mouths held flat teeth good for plants, not sharp fangs for meat. Muscle under the eye skin looked thin compared to Kethrax. Power eyes sat forward like hunters, but bodies seemed weak. No poisoned spines, no extra arms, no wings. The aliens felt sure now. These were not warriors. These were survivors who lasted by staying hidden and running away when danger came. Elder Thaler made the next plan. He told the others, "We will offer protection. They need us more than we need them. Let them join as friends under our care. The Concord will teach them better ways." The others liked this idea. It felt kind, and wise. They sent the offer in clear words. "Join our family of stars. We give safety, trade, and knowledge. You give trust and small tribute." The humans listened without hurry. Then they answered simple words. "Thank you for the kind offer. We prefer to walk our own path. We do not seek protection or tribute." That answer felt rude to the aliens. They had never met anyone who said no. So plain Elder Thaler grew brighter with annoyance. He decided a small show of strength would help them understand. He ordered one Cathrax boarding pod to launch Diem. The pod was shaped like a sharp seed with strong claws to grab hulls. It flew straight toward Endurance. The pilot spoke over open channel. "This is a friendly escort. We come to guide you to our station. Please open your door." The human ship did not answer. The pod got closer and closer. Still no answer. The Cathrax inside felt proud. They thought the humans must be frozen with fear. Then something strange happened. Endurance blinked out of sight. One moment, the ship sat. The next moment, empty space remained. The pod floated alone with no target. The Cathrax returned to the fleet confused and a little embarrassed. The aliens laughed soft crystal chimes from Vexari beaks, clicking from Lyrith mouths, shell taps from Cathrax. They said, "Look how fast the primitives ran. They fear even one small pod." Elder Thaler nodded his crystal head. "See, they know their place already. We will find them again soon and explain things better." The fleet turned back toward conquered space. Quiet to her crew. "They think we fled." Good. Quiet to her crew. "They think we fled." Good. Let them keep that thought. The XO smiled and said, "Persistence is our best weapon, sir." They nodded together. The ship slipped into a hidden course. Nobody chased yet. The galaxy stayed peaceful for a little while longer. But the first small seed of dread had already been planted deep in alien minds. They just did not feel it. Growing yet. The Concorde returned home and told stories of the timid new race. Everyone smiled and planned future meetings. Nobody worried. Nobody imagined what waited ahead. Many months passed after the first meeting. The Galactic Concorde forgot about the small gray ship called Endurance. They turned back to their normal lives of trade meetings and calm songs. The Vexari studied old crystals. The Lyrith flew in gentle patterns through bright gardens. The Cathrax sharpened tools and told stories of past, where strength. Everyone felt safe in their big, peaceful worlds. Then one quiet morning, a message came from a small research colony on a green frontier planet called Alara 9. The colony grew rare, blue crystals that powered many ships. The last report said all was well. Then silence fell. No more words, no more signals. The Concorde sent a fast scout ship to check. They arrived and found the colony building standing perfect. Lights still glowed. Doors stayed open. Yet no one walked outside. No voices answered calls. The scout team landed careful and stepped inside. Inside, everything looked normal. Tables held half-finished meals, chairs sat pushed back as if people left in a hurry. Tools lay on benches where hands dropped them, but no bodies appeared. No blood marked the floors, no broken glass showed a fight. The scout leader, a young Lyrith named Sira, felt feathers rise on her neck. She whispered to her team. They must have left fast. Maybe a storm or gas leak, but scans showed clean air and steady weather. Nothing. Ari explained the empty place. They searched deeper and found the security records. The cameras caught clear pictures from every room. The first strange thing happened at night when most workers slept. Small figures in dark armor moved through shadows. They walked slow and steady, not rushing, not hiding much. The figures looked human. Tall on two legs, faces covered with smooth masks. They carried no big weapons, just small tools and lights. The humans did not attack right away. They waited. They watched one. A Cathrax guard patrolled a hall. He walked his normal path. The human followed behind at the same slow pace. The guard did not notice at first. Then he turned and saw the shadow. The guard ran fast down the hall. The human did not run. The human kept the same walk. The guard dashed around corners. The human turned each corner a few seconds later. Always the same distance, always the same speed. The guard panted hard. His shell clicked loud with fear. He ran to a door and locked it. The human stopped outside and, again to look. The human still stood there, again to look. The human still stood there. The guard slammed the door and ran deeper inside. This pattern repeated everywhere. A Vexari scientist tried to hide in a lab. The human entered slow. The scientist backed away. The human followed. The scientist ran to another room. The human followed. The chase went on through the whole night. The Vexari glowed brighter and War close and waited. The scientist tried to close and waited. The scientist tried to speak, but no words came. Then the camera showed the human lift the body gentle and carry it away. The same thing happened to others. Some tried to fight. A Cathrax warrior swung his big claw. The human stepped back easy. The warrior charged. The human moved aside and let him run. He passed, then followed again. The warrior swung again and again. He grew tired. His arms slowed. The human waited until the swings became weak. Then the human moved in close and used a small stick to touch the warrior neck. The warrior fell asleep. The human carried him out too. No guns fired, no blades cut deep. Most aliens died without marks. Autopsy scans later showed the truth. Hearts stopped from too much fear. Muscles burned from endless running. Bodies dried out from no water. Lungs failed from heavy. I'm breathing. The humans never needed to kill fast. They just made the chase last long enough. The prey tired first. Every time one Lyrith worker hid smart, she climbed into a high air vent and stayed still. The vent was small and dark. She watched below as humans searched. They looked under tables. They checked closets. They even looked up at vents. But they did not climb right away. They waited. They listened. They walked away. Then came back later. The Lyrith stayed quiet for 2 full days. She drank from a small bottle she carried. She ate dry food from her pocket, but humans kept returning to that room. They sat, they talked low in their strange language, they waited more. The Lyrith started to shake, her wings cramped, her heart beat too fast, she could not stay forever. On the 3rd day she slipped and made a small sound. The humans looked up. One pointed. A human climbed slow, using wall grips. The Lyrith tried to crawl deeper, but the vent ended. She turned and saw the mask close. The last thing the cameras. He watched in silence. The Vexari crystals watched in silence. The Vexari crystals dimmed low. The Lyrith feathers drooped. The Cathrax shells rattled with rare fear. Elder Thaler spoke first. His voice shook a little. They did not fight. They did not chase like fast beasts. They followed. They waited. They never stopped. That is their way. Another elder asked, "How can a weak body do this?" A scientist answered with quiet, new words. On their home world called Earth, food was hard to catch. Animals ran fast and far. Plants grew slow in dry places. Humans learned to walk long distances. They chased one animal for days until it fell from no strength left. They did this for thousands of years. It became part of them. They do not tire easy. They do not give up. The prey always tires first. The council room stayed quiet for a long time. Then someone whispered the terrible truth. These humans are persistence hunters. They treat us like animals on their old plains. We cannot outrun them. We cannot outweight them. They will follow until our bodies break. Word spread fast through the Concord worlds. People locked doors tighter. Ships flew closer to home stations. Scouts watched every shadow. Fear grew like cold wind. The aliens started to understand why the small gray ship never really ran. It did not need to run. It only needed to wait. The hunt had begun, and the galaxy felt much smaller now. The humans stayed quiet out in the black so that everyone knew they watched, they waited, and when the time came they would follow again. Slow, steady, and forever. The dread took root. Deep. No one laughed about the first meeting anymore. The story of the empty colony spread like a warning. If you see humans coming, do not fight, do not hide, do not run far. Just hope they lose interest. Because if they choose to follow, nothing in the stars can save you from the chase that never ends. Fear spread fast through the galactic concord after the empty colony. Said, "We know their trick now. We will not said we know their trick now. We will not let them chase us again. We will strike first and end the threat before it grows." The council picked a perfect trap spot. A large gas giant called Vorath hung in neutral space. Its rings held billions of ice rocks and dust clouds, perfect cover for an ambush. The Concord gathered a strong fleet. 12 big warships from all three kinds. Vexari command ships with bright crystal shields. Lyrith support vessels that sang confusing signals to mess enemy sensors. Cathrax attack cruisers loaded with sharp boarding spikes and heavy cannons. They hid among the rings and waited quiet. Scouts soon found what they wanted. A small human exploration group appeared. 3 ships moved slow through the outer system. They scanned planets and moons like they searched for something. The Concord. Admirals watched and smiled. These humans think space is empty. They do not know we watch too. The order came quick. Surround them, cut off escape, then force surrender or destroy. The fleet moved into position. Silent engines pushed them through the ice shadows. Human ships kept their steady course. They did not speed up, they did not turn away. Maybe they did not see the danger yet. The Concord closed the circle tight. 12 against 3, no way out. Then the trap sprang shut. Cathrax cruisers fired warning. All shots. Bright energy bolts crossed the black near the human lead ship. The message followed loud on every channel. Stop your engines. Drop shields. Surrender to Concord, justice or face destruction. The humans answered short. We hear you. We choose not to stop. That answer made the admirals angry. They gave the final order. All ships advance, fire at will. The fleet rushed forward. Cathrax cannons roared. Lyrith signals jammed. Human comms. Vexari shields glowed ready to take hits. The human ships looked small and weak. They drifted like leaves in wind. But the humans did not panic. They moved smart. One human ship released small drones that flew toward the nearest ice rock. The drones carried mining charges used for breaking asteroids. The charges went off in perfect timing. Big ice pieces exploded outward. New clouds of sharp fragments filled the space. The Concord sensors went blind for moments. Dust and ice bits bounced off shields and hulls. The fleet slowed to avoid crashes while the aliens fought the new. Some of the Cathrax chased them thinking easy kills. The Cathrax chased them thinking easy kills, but the pods carried hidden explosives. They blew up close to Cathrax engines. One cruiser lost power and drifted helpless. Another turned hard to dodge and hit a big ice chunk. Its hull cracked open. The humans did not stop there. They sent boarding teams. Small shuttles slipped through the chaos and latched onto a damaged Cathrax ship. The aliens inside fought hard. They swung claws and fired small arms, but the humans wore thick armor and moved careful. They used the ship itself as a weapon. They opened vents and let cold gas flood hulls. The temperature dropped fast to levels that froze Cathrax joints. The aliens slowed. Their shells cracked from sudden cold. The humans wore suits that kept them warm. They walked through the freezing dark with thermal eyes glowing red. They found hiding crew one by one. No rush, no noise. Just steady steps until every alien lay still. A Lyrith support ship tried to help. They sent singer waves to calm the boarders. The sound should make hearts slow and minds soft, but the humans wore ear blocks that stopped the music. They answered with their own noise, loud beats and sharp tones that hurt. Lyrith ears, the singers stopped quick. Pain made them drop to the floor. The Vexari command ship stayed back and watched Elder Thaler himself sat in the chair. His crystal body flickered with, worry. He ordered more fire. Focus on the lead human vessel. Bring it down. The cannons hit hard. The human ship shook. Shields flickered, but it did not break. Instead, it turned toward the gas giant and dove low into the upper clouds. The aliens thought it ran to hide. But the human ship knew the planet better. Scans showed old human probes had mapped the storms long ago. The ship used wind currents to swing around fast. It came up behind the Vexari flagship from a blind angle. Before the Vexari could turn, some of the humans fired something new. Railguns launched long metal spears made from captured Cathrax boarding spikes. The spears hit the crystal shield array. They did not explode. They just pushed through weak spots and stuck. The shield flickered, then failed in sections. Exposed hull showed now. The humans followed with small, precise shots. They cut power lines and sensor domes. The flagship went dark on one side. Thalor shouted orders, but his voice shook. The fleet started to break apart. One Kithrax admiral, on broadcast open channel in panic. They do not fight like us. They change the rules. They turn our tools against us. They use the battlefield like a living thing. We cannot win this way. The humans did not chase the broken ships. They let them limp away. They took no prisoners. They took no trophies. They just cleaned the area and moved on, like nothing big happened. The Concorde fleet returned home in pieces. Crews told stories of cold halls and silent shadows. Admirals spoke low of humans, who wait, who adapt. Who turn weakness into strength. Back on conquered stations, the elders met again. They looked at battle records and felt cold fear. The humans did not need big claws or fast ships. They needed time and thought. They reshaped every fight. They used ice as cover. They used cold as a blade. They used the enemy's own machines against them. No Concorde kind ever fought like that before. Word of the trap failure spread wider now. Ships refused orders to hunt humans. Diplomats asked for peace talks quietly. The council? You knew the truth. Humans were not just hunters. They were makers of hunts. They changed the game until no one else could play. The galaxy learned another hard lesson. Never corner a human. Because when you do, they stop being prey. And the chase turns the other way. The dread grew thicker. No one felt safe in open space anymore. The stars looked darker. Every shadow could hide a quiet walker who never stops. The failed trap at Vorath changed everything in the Galactic Concorde. Worlds that once felt safe now. Seemed too open. Ships flew only in tight groups. Crews checked sensors every few minutes. Sleep became hard because dreams showed quiet figures in dark armor following forever. The elders tried to hide the full truth, but stories leaked from survivors. Admirals who escaped told their families in low voices. The humans did not roar. They did not charge. They waited until hearts gave out or bodies froze. The fear grew so thick it touched every home. High Council meetings turned quiet and short. Elder Thalor, you who once spoke with bright confidence now stayed dim. His crystal body showed small cracks from stress. He looked at the other elders and said, "We cannot fight them head-on. We must talk, we must beg, if needed." The Lyrith elders nodded their beaks low. The Kithrax warriors who loved battle now stared at floors with empty eyes. One warrior whispered, "We tested our endurance against stories of their chases. None lasted more than 4 days. Our strongest fell first." The council sent messages to every human. Signal they could find. "Please meet. We wish only peace, no tricks, no traps." The answers came slow but always the same. "We will talk. But choose a neutral place, bring no fleet. Bring honest words." The humans picked an old empty station on the edge of explored space. It floated alone with no planets nearby, perfect for open talk without hidden ships. The Concorde chose their best delegates. Elder Thalor led them, a wise Lyrith named Mira, who sang calming songs. A strong but tired Kithrax captain called Gorvde took one small transport. No weapons, no extra crew. Just 3 beings who carried the weight of a scared galaxy. They arrived at the station and waited. The humans came in one plane shuttle. No bright lights, no loud engines. They docked gentle and stepped out. The human group looked simple. 3 people in plain suits, 1 tall man with gray hair, 1 young woman with steady eyes, 1 older woman who walked with small scars on her hands. They carried no guns, no big tools, just small translators and calms. "We come to ask for peace." "Your people. We come to ask for peace. Your people frighten us. We see now what you are. We do not wish war. We wish to live separate and safe." The gray-haired man nodded slow and said, "We want the same thing. We never looked for fight. You came to us first. You tried to board. You tried to trap. We only answered. We do not take utter worlds. We do not hunt for fun. We want space to breathe." "Mira," the Lyrith singer asked with trembling feathers, "why do you never stop? Why do you follow so long?" The older woman with scars leaned forward. She spoke clear and simple. Because that is how we lived on our home. Our world gave little food. Animals ran far and fast. Plants hid in hard ground. If we stopped chasing, we went hungry. If we stopped chasing, our young ones went hungry. We learned to keep going. When others quit, we became the ones who pushes us forward. It comes from long ago. Pushes us forward. It comes from long ago when giving up meant death. Now it stays even when we no longer hunt for food. It makes us good at many things. Exploration, science building. But it also makes us hard to shake. Once we start, we finish. The delegates listened and felt cold understanding spread. The humans. She did not brag. They stated facts like stones on a path. Elder Thaler pulled out a small crystal drive and placed it on the table. This holds our plea. We ask for borders. Clear lines. No ships cross without word. We offer trade if you want. But please, no more chases. The gray-haired man took the drive and said, "We will read it. We will talk among ourselves, but know this. We do not break promises. If you keep away, we keep away. If you push, we push back and we push long." To show what they meant. The young woman. Opened a screen on the table. She played old records from Earth. No sound at first, just pictures. Silent videos of humans from long past. One showed a thin man in hot sand. He ran after a fast animal. The animal dashed and jumped. The man walked steady. Never fast, never slow. The animal slowed. The man kept the same pace. Days passed in fast motion. The animal fell. The man walked up and ended it quick. Another video showed people in cold, white lands. They tracked big beasts through snow. The beasts ran hard, then slowed. The people followed on foot for many suns. The beasts dropped from tired legs. The last video showed modern humans running long paths across empty lands. They ran through heat, through rain, through night. Faces showed pain, but feet kept moving. The screen went dark. The woman spoke quiet. Everything runs out of breath, everything except us. That is not pride, that is truth. The aliens watched without words. Thaler crystal dimmed. Lower, Mira feathers pressed tight to her body. Gorv claws curled in, or on themselves. They saw no monsters in the videos, just normal beings who refused to quit. The difference scared them more than any claw or fang. The meeting ended with handshakes and nods. The humans left first. Their shuttle slipped away quiet. The Concorde team stayed a while longer. They looked at each other and knew the galaxy changed forever. Back home, they told the council what they heard and saw. The treaty papers were written fast. Borders drawn wide around human space, buffer zones, empty of ships. Trade rules simple and fair. The Concorde fleet stood down. Many ships never flew again. Crews chose quiet lives over cold space. In the following years, alien children heard new stories. Parents told them of the quiet walkers from the blue world. They do not shout, they do not rush. But if they turn your way, run fast and pray you escape, because they follow until the end. No anger, no joy, just steady steps that never stop. The dread settled in like long night. It did not fade, it became part of life. Every alien spacer checked shadows twice. Every diplomat spoke careful words. No one wanted to make humans chase again. The stars stayed beautiful, but now they carried a warning. If you hear a human ship ask for parley, give it listen hard and never give them reason to follow. Because when humans hunt, they hunt forever. Years passed after the treaty signing. The borders stayed quiet. No Concorde ship crossed the wide, empty zones around human space. Trade happened slow and careful. Small stations sat at the edges, where goods changed hands without much talk. The Galactic Concorde rebuilt their lives. They planted new gardens, sang softer songs, sharpened fewer claws. Everyone tried to forget the cold fear that once woke them at night. But memory does not fade easy. Some things stay carved deep. Children born. after the Vorath battle grew up, hearing whispers instead of loud tales. Parents told stories in low voices about the quiet ones from the blue world. Do not stare at their ships. Do not follow their signals. Do not give them reason to turn towards you. The young ones listened, wide-eyed. They asked why the elders fear beings who look so small. The answers came simple. Because small does not mean weak. Because quiet does not mean kind. Because when they decide to move, nothing stops them. On many worlds, schools showed the old videos again. The ones from Earth with humans walking after fast animals across hot sand and cold ice. Teachers explained without excitement. This is persistence. It is not magic. It is biology. Yo, up calm and finish the task. No cheer. No. Up calm and finish the task. No cheer. No anger. Just the next step. The lessons sank in. Deep. Never make something that never quits. Start chasing you. Space lanes stayed peaceful for a long time. Human ships appeared now and then. They scanned empty rocks. They collected samples. They left without words. Sometimes a Concorde scout saw them from far and turned. In a way quick. No one wanted close contact. The dread lived like a shadow. It followed every ship. It made crews check empty halls twice. It made captains fly wider paths around human claim zones. One day, a young Kathrax explorer named Vark broke the quiet rules. He flew his small scout too close to a human mining claim. He wanted rare metals for his clan. He thought the treaty allowed small mistakes. He thought humans would forgive a quick grab. Vark landed on the rock and started digging. His team worked. Fast. They loaded crates. They laughed about easy riches. Then sensors screamed. A human ship appeared on the horizon. No hail, no warning. It just moved steady toward them. Vark ordered liftoff. His ship rose fast, but the human vessel matched speed without hurry. It stayed behind at the same distance. Vark pushed engines harder. The human ship kept coming. No closer. No farther. Vark felt old stories rise in his chest. He remembered tales of endless walks. He cut power and drifted, hoping they would pass. The human ship slowed too. It matched drift. It waited. Vark tried a different course. The human ship turned with him. Always the same gap. Always the same patient shadow. Hours became days. Vark crew grew tired. They argued. They slept in shifts. They watched the gray ship sit silent behind them. Food ran low. Water turned careful. The human ship showed no sign of strain. No lights flashing for help. No engines overheating. It just followed. Vark sent a message. Please, we made mistake. We leave now. No answer came. The chase went on. Vark felt his shell tighten with fear. He knew the end from old records. Hearts fail. First, minds break. Next, bodies give up last. On the 5th day, Vark could not take more. He opened all channels. We surrender. Take what you want, just stop. We understand now. The human ship finally answered short message. Stand down. We accept. You return home. We keep the rock. You tell others, do not come back. Vark's ship limped away slow. The human vessel watched until they crossed the border. Then it turned and see, he left. The lesson spread fast. No one laughed at Vark. He became the warning. Everyone repeated. Decades later, the dread turned into respect of a strange kind. Aliens studied human ways from far. They learned about marathons and explorers and climbers who pushed bodies past normal limits. They saw pictures of humans running across frozen seas and climbing tall mountains. They read about ancient hunters who tracked wounded game for weeks. They understood better now. Humans did not choose to be this way. Their unworld made them, survival carved the trait deep into bone and blood. Giving up was never an option because giving up meant no tomorrow. The older generation of Concorde elders grew thin and slow. Elder Thaler sat in his crystal chamber one quiet evening. His glow stayed low. He thought about the first meeting. The small gray ship, the polite no, the laugh they shared when humans vanished. He remembered how wrong they were. He spoke to an empty room. We thought them weak. We thought them prey. We learned too. Elate. They are the end of running. They are what waits when everything else falls. In trading posts, spacers still told the old warning over drinks. If you see a human ship change course toward you, do not wait. Do not talk. Do not try to hide. Run fast. Run far. And pray your ship lasts longer than your courage, because humans do not hunt for sport. They hunt because that is what they know. They hunt because that is how they lived. They hunt because stopping means death. And death is something they learned too. Outlast long ago. The galaxy turned on quiet now. Borders held. Trade flowed in small, safe streams. Stories of the blue world. Walkers became legend. Parents used them to teach patience and caution. Children grew up knowing one simple rule. Never wake the thing that never sleeps. Because once it opens its eyes, it never closes them again until the chase ends. And so the stars stayed wide and beautiful, but every light carried a shadow. Every silence held a footstep. Every empty stretch of black reminded. Every one of the truth humans were not the strongest or fastest or loudest. They were the ones who kept going when all others stopped. They were the apex because nothing outlasted them. Nothing outweighted them. Nothing outran them forever. The dread lived on, soft and steady like a heartbeat that refused to quit.